it's a type of program with the characteristics and the values that I'd always strive to be a part of. My first impression was that everyone was so driven, and like I said before, it was a really challenging experience to come in, and with this situation, with the masks and all that kind of stuff, it's difficult, but everyone came with this amazing attitude of let's make the most of this situation, let's push to create something good, no matter how challenging it might be or how many obstacles we have to overcome. Let's come together and make something of this season. I've kind of come to learn that adversity doesn't need to be a boundary in your life or an obstacle that you have to overcome, and that if you kind of accept it for what it is and you allow it to be, it can be a major step in personal growth. And in this situation that we're in, we faced a lot of adversity and have had to be extremely resilient in many different ways. And I think I've really developed this sort of ability to overcome a lot more than I thought I would previously be able to overcome. Not being able to play, practicing is great, and you're constantly working towards something, but it's hard to not see that, to say, I've got a game next week, so I'm going to push really hard in this practice, and we're going to see those results come out in the season, and to not have that one specific thing to work to. It was difficult at first. It was hard to find, motivation to do certain things. And then after a while, you kind of realize, well, there is life after this crazy situation that we're in, so you just keep on pushing, you keep on working in hopes that the situation resolves, and then you've got, all this work that you've been doing outside of games and all that kind of stuff is really paying off. So hockey's gotten me through the toughest parts. We were in a shutdown for a while where we weren't playing any hockey, we weren't training or anything like that. But it's nice to always be able to come to the rink or go into the gym and train with your team or even just part of your team. My brother and my dad are both goalies, and so growing up, the majority of my childhood was spent at the rink. So there was just a little bit of influence there, and having hockey on the TV almost every night growing up, it's a pretty big influence. So it was a pretty quick decision that I made when they asked who wanted to be a goalie on my maybe Tyke team, and my hand shot up. I was like, oh yeah, I got this. When I was Kayla's age or a little bit younger, I went to a hockey camp at the University of Guelph, and I met these girls that were running this camp that played for the university women's hockey team, and it was an amazing experience. They were all players, but they had so much advice to give and were just so supportive of me and of my goals. And my parents always bring up this memory of when they actually came to one of my games, maybe in novice. I was very little, and so at that age, something like that makes such a big difference. And it was just amazing to see that these girls that were so busy with school and with everything and with work came out and supported a little kid, and it made such a big difference in how I viewed not just my goals but my role models. But it was amazing to have people that cared so much about you and your journey to eventually get where they were, which was playing university hockey. And so with Kayla, I've been given this opportunity that I can do that for somebody else. I just kind of suck it up and move on. I don't know, dwelling on it, it's like, oh man, I let it go. I'm not gonna throw away the game, I just move on. I just go, you know what, it's done. Let's stop the next puck. And the one after that too. I start by not having too many bad performances. That's what you start with. And then the off chance that I do have a bad performance, I don't know, I think you have to go over the improvements that you could have made, but I said before, dwelling on it's not going to change anything, so you just kind of have to pick everything back up and move on. It's got to be the celebration. Yep. Never gotten to do anything like that. Maybe one day I'll get an empty netter. I'll shoot the puck down the ice maybe one day. We're dreaming of it. But I'll know what to do now if I do. I'll have that celebration lined up. I'm a pretty open book, Jared. I think, into the celly.
Yeah.
No, it's all coming together now. Man, now we're rolling. This is good. It's generating a lot of good ideas, so.